Welcome to the 111 Approach podcast, your go-to space for deep thoughts, real talk, and exploration of everything from spirituality to self-development and the mysteries of life with some light-hearted humour along the way. I'm your host, Lakshmi, aka the 1 Minute Healer, and each episode will dive into different topics, sometimes personal, sometimes thought-provoking, but always authentic. So whether you're here for some new perspectives, inspiration, or just a fresh take on the world with a bit of randomness thrown into the mix, you're definitely in the right place. So what are you waiting for? Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 111 Approach podcast with me, Lakshmi, aka the 1 Minute Healer. And today I have a very special guest on to discuss a very special topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time. And as the universe works in mysterious ways, literally a few days after launching the podcast back in February, I'm in a few groups with you now, Darpan, aren't I, actually? We cross over quite a lot in the networking groups. The lovely Darpan, who I'm going to introduce in just a second, posted a post about perfectionism and what it's like being a nutritionist coach and having this cloud of what people think you eat looming over your head. And when I saw her post, I was like, this is the person I need to get on to talk about the topic that I wanted to talk about. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Darpan, who is a qualified personal trainer and nutrition coach who has experienced a powerful transformation herself from a sedentary, non-active lifestyle to now lifting weights and building strength. She helps others to do the same, guiding them towards greater confidence, energy, and resilience. And what's really beautiful is that her approach moves beyond just numbers and scales. It focuses instead on creating a stronger future and long-term vitality. And this is done through mindset and habit coaching, where she empowers her clients to make healthy eating and exercise a natural part of their routine rather than something that they have to do, so it doesn't become a chore, which I love. And it says here, your motto, progression, not perfection. And how fitting that could be the title of the podcast episode, to be fair. So welcome, Darpan. Thank you so much for coming on as a guest.
Thank you very much for having me. I am excited to talk about whatever you've said because, like people say, that they expect us to be perfect. They always expect us to do everything right. And it doesn't always happen. So it's always good to just bring it out in the open so people don't put that pressure on themselves all the time.
Yeah, and not just on themselves, I think. Do you not feel sometimes there's pressure on you? Because I think on the post that you shared back in February was a picture of you eating, I can't remember what it was. And then you were like, I'm a nutritional coach and this is what I eat. And there was a list of things and there was things like popcorn on there and crisps and things. And when I saw that, I was like, a woman after my own heart, because I get that being a spiritual person and working in the holistic industry. When people see me maybe perhaps having a glass of champagne once in a while, or the way I dress even, sometimes they're like, oh, you don't look like a spiritual person. I'm like, what's that even supposed to mean? Like, what do you think? I have like angel wings outfits or like a flowery headband. I do have a flowery headband, but that's for my festivals, right? But like, it just baffled me that people have this perception of what a job title entails. So could you tell me a little bit more about, like, do you get that as well, being a nutrition coach or a fitness coach?
All the time. I think people, like you say, people have certain perception, right? I mean, they think that, if I go out to eat, and I love going out and eating, I'm a very sociable person. I'm a mom. I've got 2 teenage boys. So, when I put things on my stories or anything, they're like, oh my God, you're out again. Do you allow your clients to go out? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Because what people forget, it is all about moderation. It is just being mindful. It doesn't mean that I've give up things that I love. Like, you might find a lot of fitness coaches, a lot of nutrition coaches who might turn around and say, okay, we don't drink. And I'm one of the people who's like, I will have a glass of drink. If I go out with friends, I enjoy a glass of drink, but I know what my limits are. It's not something that, I need to give up, but I just need to be mindful in terms of what's working for me. And I think it's with everything else, really, right? If how do I keep keep myself motivated to do my workouts. I mean, again, it's not 100% all the time. It is just showing up. It is okay if you are not giving your 100% every single day, but the fact that you show up and you're doing something is much more than, putting that pressure that it has to be perfect all the time.
I love that. And thank you so much for saying that as well. Like you can you can show up and give 60% some days because that's better than not showing up at all. And this is my hope. So your motto is progression, not perfection. And my mantra or my tagline for the 111 approach is one is better than none. So 1 minute is better
Yeah.
than no minutes. And this is where the 1 minute wellness techniques that I help my clients with in alignment with the intuitive Reiki therapy. That's why it works because you're better off doing 1 minute properly. This is why I do the 1 minute meditations live on my
Mm.
Instagram every day. I say to people, oh, what's 1 minute of meditating going to do? Well, if you actually do it properly, if you gave 100% in that 1 minute, it's actually as powerful if you did it consistently as doing a 10-minute meditation but only giving 20% because your mind is
Mm.
thinking, oh gosh, I've just got to get this done. For some people, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but most people who are just starting out, it's very overwhelming in the society that we're in. Everything is a trigger or a stimulant. So for most people, it's very difficult for them just to even sit for 5 to 10 minutes just to do
Yeah.
some mindfulness or meditation. So your mind is always active. But that's
Yeah.
where the 1 minute comes in to help you start on that journey. And I guess, like you said, it's the showing up, the act of actually doing it is better than not doing it, which I love. And I think that's where we had that synergy and crossover. I was like, your sort of approach to wellness is very similar to mine.
I think a lot of times people forget as well, it's this consistency. We often want to find an hour to do our workout. We don't have that hour. Not everyone has the luxury of an hour, 5 days a week to do your workouts. But if you even do it half an hour and just be consistent, you will start seeing the results. It's the same thing I say to people. If you're consistent 80% of the time in your eating habits, then 20% of the time you have that privilege of just going and eating and enjoying whatever you want to enjoy.
Yeah, that's so true. And you're right. There is this idea of perfectionism that stems throughout, whether that's through your work, whether through your personal life, or whether you're starting something and you're like, I need to get this right. And that's what I think prevents a lot of people from even starting a project or starting a business or starting to do something they love. They think about it and think, oh, that would be a good idea. Because I know this because I went through this with the 1 minute journal.
Mm.
I had the idea. I sat there. I remember I actually, it was all channeled. So I just got it done. I was like, oh, this is quite good. But the idea of that, it had to be perfect before I launched it. It took me 18 months to then bring it out. I mean, in that 18 months, I was testing it, tweaking it, making sure that it did what it said on the box. Like it was 1 minute in the morning and 1 minute in the evening, and it was actually going to help people who use it. However, for a large part of that time, I think about 80% of those 18 months, and I'm not going to try and do some maths now because my brain's not working. But 80% of those 18 months was purely just procrastination because I was like, I'm scared to release it. It's not perfect. But that stopped me. That was a year out where I could have actually just launched it and I could have helped people earlier.
Yeah, I'm just so glad you said that because I had a prospective client call yesterday. And I think, people think that, oh, I've got so much going on. I can't give it my 100%. Should I really be investing in myself? And it is, we keep delaying things because there's never going to be the right time. And I think that's what we've got to start understanding. Like, I feel similar when I did my first live on Insta. I was like sitting there, sweating. Literally, it's like, oh my God, I'm going live for the first time on Insta. And I delayed it and delayed it. But unless you just go in there and do it, you're not going to know what you're capable of. And that's what I say to all my clients is unless you start somewhere, you don't know how far you can go. We are not going to go backwards. We'll always go forwards and just go at your own pace. Again, it's not a race. Go at your own pace.
I love that. Two things I wanted to highlight what you said there, Darpan. There's never a right time because there never is. The right time is right now. If you are feeling pulled to do something or if there's something in mind or your gut and you're like, why am I interested in this? That is your intuition. That is your soul, or whatever you want to call it, higher self, gut intuition, your inner self. That is your inner self screaming at you, do this, do this, do this. You need this. Because there is something deep within you that has been attracted to that. Now, there is a fine line, and I always do say this, it's a fine line with sponsored marketing and algorithms on social media versus what it is that your inner self truly needs. The second thing is where you said, Darpan, was should I be investing in myself? And I get this so much, and it is one of the things that I really am passionate about raising awareness, because I still to this day cannot fathom that people will invest hundreds of pounds in other people's things, branded goods,
Mm.
items, going out and eat, all these things. Beautiful, right? Yeah, we all have our little vices. But when it comes to investing in themselves, that's going to help them live longer, feel better, get more in touch with themselves, all these things to do with wellness and self development. And people are just like, oh, I don't know, is it worth it? I'm thinking, you are the most important person on this planet in your world, and you're now questioning, is it worth it? Whereas the same types of people would not question spending 200, £300 on a handbag
Mm.
just because they like the brand. I'm like, you are basically advertising somebody else's business, right? You've just paid to
Yeah,
advertise their business. However, you are now questioning spending half of that on yourself.
yeah,
You, the most important person in your world, you don't think you're worth that investment?
yeah.
I just can't understand
And
it.
get that. I don't know if you get that, but I also get that. Like you said, is you go buy a handbag and it's an expensive branded handbag. You want to show to the world, I've got this handbag, right? But the moment you start investing in yourself, I have so many people who come into my process and they're like, we don't want anyone to know we are doing this. And for me, it's, what? Grab that as a chance to let people know what you are doing for yourself, and you just never know how it might motivate somebody else to do that who might just be sitting on the fence. So I've had this conversation with so many of my clients. Of course, confidentiality is the first thing. I would never reveal their name or anything if they don't want me to, but I always say to them, I said, come on, you can be a role model for XYZ. If they know you are doing this for yourself, why shy away from it? And that is really puzzles me, is why would people not be out there to say, yes, I'm doing something for myself for a change?
Oh my gosh, Darpan, this is beautiful because you've also highlighted a few other topics I've been wanting to talk about. So thank you so much. Like, this is beautiful. I love this conversation. I get that. I get that as well because I think even though we're doing two different aspects of wellness, um, I think challenges or the issues we are facing are very similar because I get that with my clients as well. So a lot of the time, and I'm the same. I would never put anybody's name or details on their testimonials. I keep it all confidential, unless if you'd like to leave me a video testimonial, I mean, I really appreciate it because people love to hear and see other people's progress journeys. It inspires them. They're like, wow, that person had that experience or that transformation, or they went on this journey, they had that struggle. I resonate with that. I have that struggle. If they can do it, maybe it's possible for me. And that's why I feel like it is so important for people to be brave enough to say, this is what I'm doing. But I feel a lot of the time people don't do that is because there's a fear, inherent fear of going out there doing something and not following through with it. And
Yeah,
this is why accountability is so important whenever you're doing something like courses or coaching or programs. Accountability is actually the thing that's going to get you the results, because a lot of us need that. I mean, I say a lot of us, all of us need that, including myself. And I think this is where it's coming back to, for us being coaches and mentors and facilitators and guides for people. I have my own mentor. I have no problem telling people, yes, I work on myself as well. I have my own mentor, keeps me in check, keeps me accountable. I'm working on myself. Yes, I do my own healing, but I also do monthly service swaps with other
Yeah.
angelic Reiki masters and other Reiki masters. I do also have a spiritual mentor who also is helping me keep myself vibrating at the highest frequency so then I can serve my clients better because I need that accountability as well. I'm doing it for my clients. And a
Yeah.
lot of the time when I'm having conversations with my clients or I'm doing healing for my clients and messages are coming through and I'm just like, oh, you should be doing this and this is where I can help you. And in my mind is like, look me, you're doing all of this for your clients. You could just do that for
You-
yourself as well. But it's just that inherent human trait. We will
Yeah.
always do for others more than we will do for ourselves because we are giving people. Our soul loves to give. And I think that's where it's important then to start giving to yourself and definitely get someone to help you because that accountability is what keeps it. And do you think that's the reason why people are a bit reluctant to say, hey, I'm doing this thing because it's a fear of failure, but also a fear of being held accountable. Now I've started this, I've got to bloody finish it.
I think it's more a fear. So I get a lot of clients who come to me for accountability because I do a lot of one-to-one coaching, so they get 100% accountability. But I think it's the fear because I think if they start saying telling people that I'm doing that, I guess there are certain expectations from the people around them that, oh yes, we should start seeing the results. But sometimes it's not the physical results that you are seeing, it's what's happening from inside as well. And I have clients who I've worked with who've come to me because of some mental health issues and they just wanted to build their stamina, build their strength, work a little bit on their eating habits. So for them it's not about physical transformation, it's more about mental well-being. And I guess some people don't see it that way because some people would just think, oh, if you've invested money, surely you should go from size 12 to size 10 or something like that. It needs to be something more physical. And I think that's where the mindset needs to be changing, that you are investing in yourself for something bigger, not just to look good, not just to have that, I don't know what even they mean by having a summer beach body or anything like that, but invest in yourself to create a better future for yourself. You want to go into the future to be strong, to be able to know what you're putting in your mouth, to feel good about yourself, really.
Yeah, that's so right. And when you said that, I just got chills as well because why do we let other people's expectations of us dictate what we will or will not do? It's
Mm.
crazy, right? Like just when you said that, it's like, oh, people, if you've started a fitness program or a nutrition program, the expectation is that, okay, so you're going to lose some weight. But that might not be your goal. You might be very happy in a size 12. Most people
Yeah,
that I know are. I just find that really, really sad that we
yeah,
actually put so much weight on other people's outcomes and not
yeah.
our own.
I've had people who actually said to me, I don't want my friends to think I'm boring because I'm on this journey. And yeah, that kind of breaks my heart. And I actually,
Wow.
people, I'm like, do you think I'm boring? Like, I am still eating, I'm still enjoying. You're going out to meet people, to have conversation. It doesn't have to revolve around food. And I think that's what people forget, that, oh, you know what, I can't go to the gym 4 times a week. People will think that I'm obsessed. Well, no, you're not obsessed. You're working on yourself for something better.
Wow. And actually, that's so funny. But like, isn't it good to be obsessed with like being healthy and being fit? Like that's a good healthy obsession
Yeah,
versus being obsessed with, whatever people are obsessed with nowadays. I don't know. Like celebrities and stuff. Full disclaimer, I used to be like full on teeny bopper, obsessed with the boy bands and the like hunky celebrities. But since I've started working with people in the entertainment industry and I started doing intuitive Reiki for them, again, a lot of them with client confidentiality can't really say unless they give you a testimonial. I find it so strange that in that industry as well, they very much like want to keep you as a secret, even though you're doing massive things for them. They're just like you'd think, oh, they'll give you a shout out or they'll like recommend you to their inner circle. No, they want to keep you to themselves. It's just very much like you're helping me. I don't want anyone else to know about you. And I'm just like, you know, It would be really lovely. You would change my life if you just gave me one little shout out on your socials. It would actually literally change my life. But that's not why I'm doing it. But I just find it funny like that they keep things so secretively. But yeah, like since working on a lot of like I hate calling them celebrities, but like people in the entertainment industry or well-known people, and I realized that there's nothing there's nothing special about them. We are just all human. We are all the same. We all have the same components in our body. So in terms of nutrition and fitness, we have to do similar things basically to keep us alive. And in terms of energy, they all have imposter syndrome. They all have heartbreak, grief, trauma blocks, mindset blocks. We all have it, no matter what your title is, no matter how famous you are, no matter whether you're a man, woman, whatever. It's crazy that we think that we're so different and we put people on pedestals and have expectations of you as a nutrition coach, me as a someone in the spiritual thing. When I was grieving the death of my dad, it was awful, and I was grieving, and I still to this day am. I don't think you ever fully stop grieving, but the amount of people that said to me, "Oh, look me, you do Reiki, you're spiritual, you know that his soul is just in a different form and he's in a different place," like all these things. And I was like, yes, I know this. And yes, I've been very blessed to be able to connect with his energy when he passed. But I'm still human and I'm still missing the physical form of my dad. I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to be sad. But there was this expectation of, well, you do spiritual work. You know how this stuff works. We're not here forever. He's in a better place. It was almost like, why is this taking you so long to go through? Or why are you so sad?
I think we all go through our emotions in different ways.
Yep.
You are grieving. I think you and I had this brief conversation that I went through something similar. So I lost my mum about 18 months ago.
Oh, God.
So like I say, grief just goes. There's, not a single day you don't think of them. But I went through emotional eating. My family were just, you know what, she's dealing with it. They didn't say anything. But I think, there were people who are like, how, did you not realize you were doing that? You know so much about food and about tuning in to your mindset and all those kind of things. And I'm like, well, actually, all that kind of took a backseat because all I was thinking of is how I was feeling, how to deal with these emotions. And at that point, food was the food that came in front of me. I just kind of ate it without even thinking about it. And I think it is like you say, it is that expectation that how can you get into that hole when you know better? But like you said, we are all humans. We all go through these emotions in different ways. And I think the good thing is, I guess, as professionals in the area, we can kind of catch ourselves doing that, possibly before others can, and which I did. But there was never been any regret as to, oh my God, why did I do it? Because it was part of the process, part of grieving, part of just letting go for a month. It's fine. You know what? I've lost my mom. It's okay if I don't do my workouts, if I don't show
Yeah.
up. I just need to be me. And I think at that time, for the first time, I thought, okay, I've just got to show up for my boys.
Yeah.
It's not for me, it's not for anyone else, but just for my boys. And it was okay to be like that. And yeah, now you know what? I do show up for myself. I do my workouts, but it's a phase of life that you just go through and you've just got to accept that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I remember us having that conversation actually. And again, I'm so sorry for your loss, but I'm so, so grateful that you were able to share that little kind of, um, I guess that human side of yourself. Like people forget that you are also a human being. Like, oh, she's a nutritionist. She should be like this and this and this. She's also human. And we all make mistakes. We all get off, fall off the bandwagon sometimes. It's life, and it's a beautiful part of life to show people that no matter who you are, it's okay. Whatever
Mhm.
you're doing is okay. but I've just noticed a time and I appreciate we have to wrap this up a little bit because we had a few technical difficulties starting, but we're all good. I would love to pick your brain a little bit more about some of these topics. So more than happy to have you come on again as a guest. I actually made a mistake on this podcast because I was so excited and also we were running a bit late. I forgot to do my gratitude to start off with because I always start with gratitude and always end with gratitude. So again, look, this is just live showing you that we all make mistakes. So gratitude for the beginning was missed, but definitely wanted to say thank you so much, Darpan, for coming on, sharing your insights. You've touched on some amazing topics. I think we want to go in a little bit deeper throughout the course of this podcast. I do always end with a 1 minute meditation. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to leave all the links for where you can find Darpan, and I'm going to ask Darpan if she wants to share anything just before we finish off. But for now, let's just do the 1 minute meditation. I'm going to ask you, if it is safe for you to do so, please close your eyes. I will guide you through a nice 1 minute self-acceptance meditation. So closing our eyes, taking a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. And I want you, if it feels comfortable, to maybe put a hand on your heart center and one just below your rib cage on your solar plexus chakra, which is your power center. And I just want you to breathe deeply into both of these areas, feeling the rise and fall of your chest. And I want you to say these mantras to yourself. I am worthy of investing in myself. I am doing perfectly fine just the way I am. I am doing the best I can with the resources I have. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect solution. But I know that I value myself and I accept myself just the way I am. Just let that sit for a few seconds. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, hold for a few seconds, and then breathe out through your mouth. And you can open your eyes.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Darpan. And just before I let you go, I always ask my guests to just share maybe one quote or piece of advice that you were given that has really helped you throughout your life.
Sure. I think one thing we do need to remember is just start celebrating small wins. I wish I knew that a few years ago. And I really do, every day just start celebrating something little that you've done, because that little really adds up to a lot. And I think we kind of forget that. And I always have slots available, because for me it is helping as many people as I can to reach their fitness and their health goals, whatever it is. If you're struggling with menopause, perimenopause, please come to me, because I'm often doing lots of clinics and things like that. So yeah, just reach out for anything really.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I've loved having you on this show, and the topics that we discussed as well were very close to my heart. So thank you so much. Send you and everyone else lots of love, light, and blessings, and we'll see you on the next episode.